Finding a therapist, it's about so much more than just ticking boxes on a resume, right? It's really about finding a guide. So today, we're going to look at the work of Jinnaeyalynn Combs Riojas and a healing journey that, well, it just feels different. I mean, what if therapy could feel different? What if it wasn't just about digging into the past, but about actually building the tools you need for a future that feels like yours? Because here's the thing, real, lasting healing, it isn't found in a textbook. It's all about that genuine human connection. That feeling of being truly seen and understood. Without that piece, honestly, even the fanciest techniques they just fall flat. Okay, so what actually creates that connection? Well, in Jinnaey's practice, it's this really incredible blend of top-tier professional expertise and the kind of deep wisdom you can only get from a really rich life. A good way to think about it is like two big pillars holding up a bridge of trust. So on one side, you've got all the rigorous, formal training, the stuff that guarantees competence and safety. And on the other side, a really diverse life path that builds the kind of empathy and understanding you just can't learn in a classroom. And when we talk about her training, it is seriously impressive. I mean, we're talking over 720 hours in just clinical hypnotherapy. On top of that, a master's degree in sociology. Then you've got certifications in neurolinguistic programming, trauma recovery hypnosis, and something called mental and emotional release therapy, which is a pretty amazing technique for clearing out old negative emotions fast. So yeah, this is an absolutely solid foundation of expertise. But it's not just about the classroom. Her whole professional journey wasn't just some straight line. It was this winding path that built up so much insight. Think about it, 5 years in the U.S. Navy, then working as a divorce mediator, and then over a decade as a public school educator. Each one of those roles gave her a unique window into so many different kinds of life experiences. And it goes even deeper than that. Her own early life experiences, they became what you might call an unintentional training ground. It forged this really rare ability to perceive what's not being said. And that's a skill that no certificate on a wall can ever teach you. So you take all this incredible skill and you combine it with that deep insight, and it leads us to maybe the most important thing that sets her apart. It's this deep, intuitive grasp on why cultural sensitivity isn't just some professional checkbox. No, it's a fundamental, absolute requirement for real healing. And this quote right here, it really just says it all. This is her mission: to create a therapeutic space where every person can feel safe, seen, and respected. So what does that actually mean, culturally sensitive therapy? What does it look like? Well, it's a practice that really tunes into your unique cultural background and your identity, without any judgment. It means you get to show up as your whole authentic self, without having to explain yourself or worry about being misunderstood. And for Jinnaeyalynn, this isn't just something she learned in a workshop. It is literally part of who she is. Her own heritage is Native American, African American, and Mexican. So she has this naturally multicultural perspective built right in, this intuitive awareness of just how different our worldviews can be. Okay, so the theory is one thing, right? But the true test, the real measure of all this, is the impact it has on people. So let's hear from some of the folks who have actually walked this path with her. Take Melissa Huang's words, for example. They just perfectly capture that blend we were talking about. She says Jinnaeyalynn holds a safe, calming space, but at the same time is professional and clear in guiding the process. See? It's that perfect mix of deep empathy and expert guidance. Then you have Chantel Taylor, whose experience is so relatable for anyone who's ever felt stuck in traditional therapy. She says she finally has tools to help her, and that's huge. This approach is about giving people practical tools that actually create change. And listen to this from Christina Graham. She said she was able to go to deep, hurtful places for healing because of Jinnaeyalynn's guidance. Wow. I mean, think about the level of trust that takes. That kind of work requires absolute safety and truly masterful support. And then Jose Rodriguez just comes right out and says it. His session was mind-blowing. He really connected and followed every step. That's not just a good therapy session, right? That's a truly transformational experience. And finally, Anderson Alwazni's feedback brings us full circle right back to that core idea. He says she was very empathetic and attuned to cultural differences without judgment. And then he adds this key part: I felt understood for the individual I am. Not as a label, not as a demographic, just as him. That, right there, is the entire goal. So, what does all of this actually mean for you? If you've been listening and thinking, yeah, I'm looking for a different path, well, here's what that journey could look like. It's really a transformation journey in 3 key steps. First, it's about moving beyond the limits of just, well, talk therapy. Step 2 is working with a guide who really, truly honors every single part of your unique identity. And then, step 3, this is the big one. It's about integrating your inner world with your outer world. So all that healing you do, it doesn't just stay in the session. It translates into real, lasting change in your day-to-day life. So after looking at this really unique combination of expertise, lived experience, and genuine empathy, it all comes down to one simple question. And I'm just going to leave it with you. Are you ready to feel safe, seen, and respected?